Всем привет, с вами Мафия. Продолжаем играть в Vampyr. У нас продолжение ночной смены. Так, все, поехали. Я сейчас зашел в игру, смотрю такой ячейки, Просто я не заметил в ячейке картинку, где можно было продолжить, нажать. Так, мы в больнице, у нас ночная смена, ТРПРом. Что за... Так, сюда. И чё? А, наверное, сюда. Ну, и... Чё, я все сделал? Так я что, не изготовил? А как его изготовить-то, блядь? Изготовить. Погоди. Это оно? Я не знаю, что делаю. Так. Ну и как мне это сделать, если она не делается? Создать предмет. Я тут ни хрена. Вот все равно меня просит это сделать. Основное задание это. Странно, бляха-муха. Очень странно. Надо разобраться с этим делом. Лечение. А на что? Нет у меня больше никаких. Слышь?
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Изготовьте. Где мне его изготовить? Нету ни хрена у меня. Изготовьте, блин, какую-то хрень. Но у меня ничего не готовится. Что это? Ага, патроны. Но это не то. Ничего нету. Как спрашивается, я буду готовить то, чего у меня нет. Понятно. Ни хрена непонятно. Так, нет. Но мне сказали изготовить. А что, как? Ну вот она. Типа. Только как ее изготовить-то, ёпте? Из чего? Из какого жопа? Вот она, образец крови. Странно. Как это все пользоваться? Ничего не работает. Вручальное кольцо. Понятно. Ни хрена нет. Т. Не работает. Ничего не работает. Взять. Ну взял, и что дальше? Но это ему не нужно. Здесь все. Здесь тоже все выполнено. Не понимаю, что он хочет от меня. Да. Но он предлагает мне сделать эту фигню. Но я-то не могу ее сделать. Придется как-то... Так, сейчас давай поспим. Черт. Я не могу что-то сделать. Почему? Не знаю. Изготовить средства от этого. Ну и где, как? Я пытался, ни хрена не получается. Уровень 8. Вот она. Так, вот она. Вот она, сука. Так, создайте предмет лекарства, наверное. И фиг его знать, ну ничего не создается. Ничего нету. Нечем ничего создавать-то, блядь. Где я буду что-то создавать? Чем? Твою мать. Что делать, если я не могу создать ничего? Что-то надо придумать. Ничего не создается, это хрень непонятная. Почему? Не понимаю. Все очень сложновато. Да. Ладно, разберемся. Ничего страшного. Так, давай-ка вниз спустимся. Мне просто понять надо, что с этим делать. Как мутить с этим делом? Ты кто?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course.
Понятно. Ну, одну купим.
Tomorrow, more bodies will arrive and then sadly depart.
Так. Не понимаю, что делать. У нас задание висит, это и я что-то же все-таки сделал. Да. Очень сложновато. Пойдем-ка обратно, посмотрим лабораторию свою. Кабинет свой, блядь. Черт. Что искать, где искать? Так. Может, что ли, сходить опять в этот старый? Другого выхода у нас нет. Ловить нечего здесь. Да, ловить не хрен. Старый морг. Что у нас здесь? Обитает. Кому они в задницу нужны, ваши часы? Да, бляха-муха. Засада полная. Я просто хотел, бля. Ты хрену создашь, чё? Доктор из меня так себе. Стрёмный. О, блядь, там кто был. Попробуем еще раз поработать.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Нам какие-то ингредиенты нужны. Где их
It's locked, all right.
искать, бляха? Я не доктор, а вообще я не знаю, что им нужно от меня. Ладно. Забираем все, что здесь есть. Забираем все, что здесь имеется у нас. Так. Здесь ни хер делать. Здесь монстры постоянно спаунятся. Остается подвал. Идем в подвал. Да. Посмотрим, что у нас тут дальше. Ой, блядь, напугал гадян. Напугал, блин, собака. Так, попробуем. Это единственный шанс узнать. Вот чувакович этот. А чё? Мы его еще не обследовали, что ли? Люблю. Так. Сюда надо мне идти. А тут что у нас? Ладно.
It's locked, all right.
Да, понял, все. Мне обследовали, что ли, его? Или обследовали, я что-то не понял. Ну, давай
Multiple
попробуем еще.
abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
Так. А толку?
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps?
Че, правильно все?
The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Ага. Вот, все. Что-то мы там
Tippett
разузнали.
has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Так, ну ладно, как скажете. С кем-то надо там пообщаться. С доктором каким-то. Здесь все чисто. Ни боссов, никого нет. Как странно. Так. Мы, значит, не обследовали, товарищи. Торговцы, убежище, все такое. Но у нас одно задание там висит, и мы не можем его выполнить. Никак выполнить, никак его не могу. Собачье это задание. Так. Сделать там какую-то фигню ему. Ладно. Скакиваем отсюда. Здесь просто ловить нехер. Я его слышу. Жуткое место, если честно. Надо утаскивать всю задницу отсюда. Как можно быстрее. Так, а с каким доктором надо пообщаться? А где мне его взять-то, сука? Да. Хорошо. Кто... Вот, медсестра, слышь, мать.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Так. Это фигня. Закрыто.
Pippa, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Да-да-да.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Ну да.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Понятно.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Понятно.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Ясно. Так, задам вопрос. Ни хрена.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Goodbye, сестра. Так, что же мне делать? Мне надо найти товарища какого-нибудь. Мне еще доктор этот какой-то нужен. С каким-то докторишкой надо пообщаться. О, док.
Good
Здорово.
evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon,
Ага.
blood transfusion specialist.
Это точно. Ну давай сразу. Фигней страдать. Закрыто.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
Да-да-да.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Угу.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now.
Ну да.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
А вот он и этот доктор. Че, вопрос можешь задать? Открылся. Вот. Врачебная обшивка.
Corn, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Понятно.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed the body.
Понятно. А все, больше тут нехер спрашивать. Окей. Это было. Ну все тогда.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Goodbye, доктор. Все, что мы могли, мы узнали. Это кто у нас?
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Понятно. А вот она. Как обстановка в
How are
больнице?
things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Понятно.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Понятно.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Понятно.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Доктор Гордон. Ага. Понятно.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No, I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Понятно. Ничего больше нету. Так, вот открыто.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Ясно.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
Ага.
To clear Dr. Tippett's name must be the decision of Dr. Swansea. You can't take matters into your own hands.
I respect Dr. Swansea's authority and management, but he's no idea what happens here on a daily basis. I did what I had to do.
Вот так вот, да? Понятно.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett's is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippett's must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you've found out.
Мне еще и заплатили. Ну ладно.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Поехали. Назад. Мы такие умные. Ну хорошо. Чуть не доделали. Так. Ты кто такая?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Круто. Я тоже. По секрету.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Да нет.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Ага. Ну да. Ну да.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
Да.
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Ага. И все.
I'll
Короче,
leave
пока.
you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Королева тьмы, блядь. Да.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me
Ужас.
Thomas Elwood.
Ясно.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Да-да-да.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Понятно.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Понятно.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
Понятно.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Ну все.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Albert.
Пока, мистер.
Damn. The pain.
А это кто такой?
It's here again.
Ты кто?
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed?
А,
Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
хорошо, давай. Чеши.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Понятно.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Ясно.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Ну давай.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Понятно.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
Понятно.
We'll talk again later.
Интересно было послушать такое. Так, ловить здесь больше нечего. Потрещали со всеми. Вот еще один остался. Это док. Ладно, хрен его. Ладно, где мой... Не туда пошел. Где второй этаж? Пойду на второй этаж. А это что за... А, это вампирша-то. Окей. Ну а я на второй этаж. В свои покои. Так, или зайти к нему. Не сейчас. Ну ладно. Как скажете. Я тогда к тебе забегу. Блин, не понимаю, как что сделать. О! Что-то сделал. Нет, все то же самое. А что нужно было сделать-то? Я что-то не вкуриваю. Средство от... Что это такое? От переутомления. Не знаю. Хоть бы объяснили. Ладно. Оу. Нет, не отменять. Ночь не закончится, пока я не пойму, что мне надо делать. И чё. Ну, прекрасно. И хер на них. Так. Всем пока, с вами был